Hi everybody, this is part 2 of the Note 10 tutorial using Photopea, and I am going to show you a couple of things. I'm going to show you how to use the Lasso tools, and I was missing my little rectangle there. First thing we're going to do is we're going to go over to our Lasso tool, and we're going to click on that. And you can start with either one. I'm going to start with the standard Lasso tool, and I'm actually going to zoom in just a little bit. I'm going to click on the magnifying glass down here. You'll notice on the top left here it has the plus sign. There's a plus and a minus, so you want to have the plus on there. And if you, there we go, maybe one more. There we go. That's good. I like using that better than using my fingers to zoom in and out because it's a little finicky. So I'm going to use the Lasso select, and I'm just going to make a free form shape. I'm not going to use the corners. I'm not going into any of the corners. They're going to stay untouched. So I'm going to start here, and I'm just going to draw a big shape like that. I don't have to go right to the place where I started. I can just lift my stylus up and it'll actually automatically connect it. So I want to make sure that I'm in layer 1 when I'm doing that too, not in background. So if I do edit and then I do cut, there we go. And now if I do edit and paste, it pastes it right pretty much where I grabbed it from, but it puts it into layer 2, puts it into a new layer. So now what I want to do is edit, transform, and flip horizontal. And it looks a little wacky right now, but I can move it over. There we go. You might have better luck using your finger actually to do this than your stylus. That looks pretty close. It's okay if you're not 100% accurate on this. I know it's harder to do this project on the iPad than it is on the desktop. So it's fine if it's not 100% accurate. So we're going to go back to our Lasso tool, and I do like using the stylus over the mouse for this. I think you can get smoother lines. I'm going to go edit, cut, and then edit and paste. Okay, and then do the same thing, edit, transform, and flip horizontal. There we go. Go back to the move tool, the arrow, and then you just kind of try to line it up as best you can. And we're lining it up right on the line of symmetry. There. Being a little finicky. That's pretty close. Okay. So you would want to do this until you really didn't have a big shape here. What I define a big shape as is pretty much anything that's like, I would say this big. You don't want to have any, oops, uh-oh. You don't want to have anything that is like bigger than that shape right there. So about an inch or so. That you could still cut something out of that shape and flip it over. So you want to keep going until you don't have much to cut out with. So the next thing I'm going to do, I'm going to show you a different way to use another polygonal lasso tool to use, and this is going to give you a different kind of effect. So this is much more geometric. You want to make sure that you're going back to layer 1, and then I'm going to use the polygonal lasso. And polygonal lasso works basically like you just clicking your stylus down onto the, oops, there we go. I don't really like that area there. You can actually move your selection around too. I don't love that selection though, so I'm going to deselect it, going back to the rectangle tool, and going back to the polygonal lasso. So what you want to do is you want to start your selection off of the actual rectangle first. So you start it like clicking into the white first, then you go over. There we go. That's better. And it's just like, it's kind of like constellations in the sky. You're kind of just making these little points here. The first shape that you make, it should be kind of basic, it should be kind of big. You don't want it to be overly complicated. You go back up to edit and then cut. I'm finding you have to hit cut twice and then edit and then paste. And then you go back, same thing, you go up to edit, transform, flip horizontal. And then you go and you move that where it is over there. That looks kind of like a bat or some kind of a mask or something. That's kind of neat. Okay, that's interesting. And then I'm still in layer 4. I'm gonna go back to my polygonal lasso, and then I'm gonna do, oops, I just moved that unintentionally. I think that's gonna happen a lot with this project. Okay, let me go back here, polygonal lasso, click once, nice, there we go. Once you kind of get in the zone with this project, it can be pretty fun, I think. Pretty interesting once you have the steps down. All right, and then you do edit, cut, and then deselect, edit, paste. And then go back to the rectangle, the move tool, edit, transform, and flip horizontal. All right, let me move it back. That's pretty close. That's right on the money. Okay. So when you are making these shapes, I think I would probably do one shape at a time. Not like what I've been doing. I just wanted to show you 2 different ways to create the shapes, either doing it with the polygonal lasso tool or the lasso tool. But I think, you know, there's not a whole lot of room to cut anything out up here. So that was probably a bad design choice by me. I think I probably should have left more space up there. There is a ton of space over here though, and down here. So that's good, and even over here. So when you're planning out your project, it's a good idea to try to think about leaving a good amount of space on all sides before you commit to a gigantic shape. I'm not going to be able to do much up here. You'll probably do a little something. If I go back to layer 1, I can go back to I'll do my lasso tool. I could probably do this, cut something out like that. Again, I don't want to go into my corners. So we go to edit, cut, and now that doesn't look that great. It's kind of pixelated. Edit, paste, and edit, transform, flip vertical instead of horizontal this time because I'm cutting it from the top. So then I can cut a few more things out of that. But again, I don't like the look of this so much. It's not great, the pixelization that's happening there. The more you zoom in, I'm finding, the less pixelated, when you make your selection, the less pixelated it'll be. So that is it for the polygonal lasso tutorial. You could probably end up with maybe 5 or 6 shapes on this project, and then continue to cut them out until you can't cut anything else out. And you're basically copying and pasting and flipping horizontal or vertical to get this effect.